Hello again, gang. Jeff from G's Gear here with a beautiful, beautiful 1967 Harmony H1270 Sovereign 12-string, which we're just about to list at our store at reverb.com. This guitar's just gone through an extensive overhaul and it's ready for its new home. It's had a fair amount of work done to it here. It's in lovely condition, great playing shape, and has, just lots of good things to say about it. We reset the neck on the guitar. When it came in, it needed a full neck reset. Neck off, the heel profile adjusted, everything shimmed, put back together. Two new saddles. These old Harmonies, the 12 strings, featured two saddles. The one up front, which is an unbleached bone saddle, is really the one that sets all of your intonation. The one behind it, which is a bleached bone saddle, is more about maintaining string spacing so that everything sits in its notches properly. The bridge itself is a floating bridge, and it has, as you can see, a trapeze tailpiece. The guitar is all solid tone woods, Sitka spruce top, quarter sawn Honduran mahogany back and sides, mahogany neck, Brazilian rosewood fretboard, Brazilian rosewood bridge. As part of doing all the work, we also made an executive decision. We made a new nut for it, and we reversed the order of the strings so that the octave strings are now on the low side. Conventionally, on a 12-string guitar, those high strings, the octave strings, are on the upper side here. But we wanted to set this up so it would be equally at home with a flat pick or fingerstyle. It's hard to play fingerstyle on a 12-string when your thumb is hitting the octave string first and it rings out louder and you don't really get the full body of the low string. So we took a cue from Big Bill Brunzi. I think Leo Kottke maybe plays the same way, where they've reversed the order of the strings. So when you're playing fingerstyle, hitting the low strings first. We also leveled and crowned the frets, reattached the pick guard, put a new heel cap on the guitar, and it's all set up. It's set up with Martin 8020 bronze extra light strings, which is our 10s to 47s. The guitar is tuned to a D standard. That's a convention with a lot of 12-string guitars. I think Harmony, they don't have a label on this one. Some of the old Harmony guitars actually had a label inside that said, tune this thing down, D or even lower. And that was to protect the neck. It does have, I think this has the double truss rod. Maybe not. Maybe not. This might be a single truss rod. But we have it tuned to a D standard, and so you can just put a capo at the second fret and you're right back in business at E standard. Or you can tune it up. We have tuned it up. It sounds amazing. You add that extra tension to the strings and there's a fullness of sound that is unbelievable. However, the octave G string is really just another E string. And so when you tune that from E all the way up to G, you've got to be real careful or they'll break. For here in the shop, we kept it tuned down to the D, but you could tune it up to E for playing. I would just say that when you're not playing it, when the guitar's sitting back in the case, knock it back out of tune. Take a little bit of stress off the neck. But the neck's dead straight. There is exactly the right amount of relief in the thing. It's really beautiful. So what else? Let's see. We'll play another tune or two here. Give you a sound of it. One of the things I like about these 12 strings is if you're playing a chord melody kind of approach, where you're alternating between big rich chords and then going to a melody lead line or a fill or something like that, the 12 strings add enough depth when you're playing on that lead line that it doesn't get thin, right? It's not like the volume of everything falls out after you stop playing a chord and go to notes. That's a personal thing, but just one of the things I like. Let's see how this might sound here. Not the ending I imagined for that, but it worked out. So it's very comfortable. It's a wide fretboard. Again, often what you get with 12-string guitars. It's a wide fretboard, more like that almost of a classical guitar. The action's quite comfortable. It is a little higher here at the 12th fret, and as you can see, it's a 12 frets to the body guitar. So at the 12th fret, it's 4 30-seconds and 3 30-seconds is the way the action worked out, instead of what we would ideally look for is 3 30-seconds and 1/16. But we did that for a number of reasons. Well, for one major reason, and that is that when you keep the guitar tuned a little bit lower and you're playing it a little bit lower, the vibration of the string takes a somewhat wider arc. There's less tension on the string. It takes a little bit wider arc, and there's more likelihood of it slapping on a fret. So we elected to keep that a little bit lower. I'm sorry, keep the action a little bit higher. If you're going to play this guitar up to E standard and carefully tune that G up there, then what you might do is you might elect to lower the saddle. And there is oodles of room to lower the saddle. We see a number of these guitars come through, and what's often the case is that because they need neck resets, the saddles have been taken way, way down to try to bring the action down. And that really does away with your break angle, because you don't have strings that are coming out of the body of the guitar. They're just coming across that trapeze tailpiece. And if you take the break angle out, you really destroy the tone of the instrument. So when we reset the neck, we did so to allow us to put on a higher saddle, establish a better break angle, and get that better tone out of the guitar. And it's just a great big 12-string voice. Very cool. Harmony, H1270 Sovereign at G's Gear at Reverb.com. Won't be there that long. Our last one didn't last very long at all. And this one's in nicer shape. And I think it's going to be appealing to folks because you can play it fingerstyle. It will sound better fingerstyle if you use picks. I'm pretty convinced of that. Because to articulate those strings, you really want to reach in. I have a style of playing where I let my hand sit a little bit flatter to the strings, and it's more of a caressing kind of emotion. But I think you want to take almost a claw hammer kind of approach with finger picks to play this finger style. We'll try and get you something to give you a sense of how it might sound here. There we are. Yeah, finger picks will really make a world of difference there. So, that's it. Reverb.com, G's Gear, Harmony H1270 12-string. Comes with a brand new hybrid onstage case, which is really nice. It fits it like a glove, not the chipboard cases that we often see. Everything else is in great shape. The tuners have been lubricated and cleaned up. The board has been lemon oiled. The bridge has been lemon oiled. Everything's polished up. There's probably some little dings and scratches that have been, there are a couple that have been touched up with lacquer. And yeah, other than that, it's tight as a tick. All right, gang. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to get on to the next guitar. I think I've got 3 or 4 of them today, and we'll see you on the flip side.